And I'm Peter Stewart. I trained at the prestigious Central School of Speech and Drama in London, and also I trained with and for the BBC. Hi, on Twitter. I'm Tweeter Stewart, TWEETERSTEWART. Welcome to today's episode of Get a Better Broadcast, Podcast and Voice Over Voice. Yeah, we're talking about your briefs. So this is the brief, the sheet of information, the document that you and the director, producer, the client, everyone gets. A clear sheet of direction so everybody knows the point of your commercial voiceover, what is going to be expected of you and everyone else in this particular session. We had an overview yesterday. Today, for a couple of days, we're going to be looking at a bit more depth about what should be in that brief, what you can expect to see in that brief, and therefore it helps you prepare for your voiceover session, helps you prepare mentally and vocally for the read and the recording which is upcoming. So, what is in your briefs? Part one. First of all, it's going to be saying, who is this for? In other words, who's the target audience, the listener? You want to hear the message and act upon it. That should usually be much narrower than everyone. It's quite surprising. Radio stations, TV programmes, less so now, but certainly in podcasts and some commercials as well. Who's the target audience? Oh, it's everyone. What do you mean? Yeah, everyone might buy this. Oh, it's not strictly true that everyone might buy it if you really interrogated everyone who did. But who's your actual target audience? Who are you trying to extend this brand purchase to? Yeah. So it may be that you want to solidify your marketing with the core audience who already buy your product and remind them of it. Yeah, or tell them about a different flavour or an extension of the brand, whatever it happens to be. Or it may be that you want to push that market on the boundaries to actually keep your existing main audience, but also increase it, diversify it to some people who are on the boundaries at the moment, people who are buying another similar product, and you want to entice them to buy yours instead. Yeah, so it's much narrower than everybody. Who is that niche audience that you are trying to target, not overall with the general product, but with this particular campaign and script? So it could be a grandmother in her 70s, or a young businesswoman in her 20s, or new parents, whatever it happens to be. Every different audience will lead you to have a different tone or attitude when you read the script. And you can usually have a guess by looking at the script and what it's about and how it's written, about who it's targeted for. But only the brief will explain exactly who that ideal listener is. So, who's it for? Point number one. Point number two, the second of two today, what do you want them to feel? If you've got the target audience, what do you want them to feel when they hear your voice on this advert? In other words, why am I talking to them? We know who them is. Why am I talking to them about this now? What is the script aiming to make them do or feel? I mean, is it buy a certain item or donate money, change their behaviour? It may be changing their behaviour perhaps by learning new health and safety rules. This could be all part of an e-learning course or a webinar or something that you've been asked to put together and voice up. It may be that you're trying to entice people to be better informed in e-learning, or to feel something, maybe compassion for charity. And that last one, to feel something, can be a very strong communication tool, causing someone to feel, what could it be? Nostalgic. Could be a political party that you're doing a voiceover for. Feel nostalgic and patriotic. Yeah? It could be angry. In fact, a lot of these could be for political parties, couldn't they? But you may be trying to get people to feel angry about something. And that could even be a nice kind of anger. In other words, anger towards a war or a drought or poverty that you want people to act about and donate money or time or collect goods or food or clothes or whatever it happens to be. You may be trying to make people feel happy, happiness. All of these emotions can create a really strong bond with the target listener. And trying to instill some emotion in them is much better than shouting at them to buy the new tin of dog food flavour. Yeah, if you can get them to feel something in their heart, that's a much more powerful motivator than having them think of something. And if that direction is on a brief about how the client, the agency, wants your voice, wants your campaign that you're voicing up, how they want people to feel when they hear it, it can cause you to change your whole presentation style from maybe a lighter tone to a more serious and slower one, or maybe to have a quirky twist to your voice or your style, your tone. Maybe it can change the speed or the projection of your voice. Yeah, is it going to be a softer read, or is it going to be a bit more strident? Is it going to be lighter, or is it going to be quite heavy? All of these, or one or two of those emotions, will be outlined in the brief. And there are going to be more things outlined in the brief as well, and we'll touch on them tomorrow as Get a Better Broadcast podcast and Voice Over Voice continues. From London, I'm Peter Stewart.